From the center of the galaxy, live on a Friday, this is ForceCenter, a show about Star Wars pop culture and the ultimate adventure, life itself, including, just remembered, having a granola bar right before you go on air. That's going to be a problem. I'm Ken Hepler.
I know the feeling that your teeth might be experiencing right now as a granola bar freak. Anyway, I'm Joseph Scrimshaw, a granola bar freak. Well, I love how much that we always come screaming into these Friday sessions, busy and stressed and jangled, and then get to calm down. And we have such a great topic to invite the calm, which is wonderful Obi-Wan Kenobi quotes. But I probably should bring that up because live on air, I'm going to answer a stressful email because it's time sensitive. and I have to answer it now. And I apologize to the masses. It looked like a couple of people just stopped watching. They're like, we're not here for emails.
No emails.
Not here for emails. No, that BS.
I get it. Right. I get it. I've been there. This is ForceCenter Now. It's our show that we usually do live on Fridays. You might be watching later. You might be listening later. We usually have a main topic, but also we have little side topics along the way. I want to kind of expand that too here, have a little fun with all of you. But our big topic today is our favorite quotes. And I added, moments with Obi-Wan Kenobi. And Joseph, we know that number one, Obi-Wan's pretty much your guy. He's your guy. There's a lot of guys in Star Wars and gals and everyone that you like in Star Wars, but Obi-Wan's a guy. But also, this is a great pairing. You had come with the idea, great pairing with our conversation about Darth Vader and Anakin recently on the show. It's kind of the yin and yang here. And also today, Obi-Wan is our character of the day. I had this set for last week. I like having a character of the day or characters of the day for any one of you to call in, and I'll force you to try to say something nice about them. We love all of our characters here, but this is like a B topic today. If you're calling in about Kenobi, then you also have some thoughts on these characters. I'd love for you to say something because I love celebrating the weird corners of Star Wars, and Joseph and I have been doing that with Jen for all these years. So our characters of the day, B plot, say my mic, are the Imperial dignitaries. Okay. Do you have something nice to say about the Imperial dignitaries? Do you have a reaction to them? What did you think about when you first saw them? I definitely didn't think they were real in 1983. I thought I kind of imagined them. I thought they were like the Fruit of the Loom characters in Star Wars. I didn't fully understand, but they were also like a good conversation started with friends on the playground. Did you see those weird old guys? Who are they? What are they? And of course, the action figure came out of Imperial Dignitary, one of our favorites and a staple in many discussions between Joseph and I over the years. So that's what's on the docket today. And that is where we'll go on ForceCenter Now. So there we go. There you go.
I'm almost done. I'm almost done. You know, I check emails when I'm just like making dumb plans with friends where it's okay to make a mistake.
Right.
A stressful email. That's
you got to get it right.
There's multiple drafts. There's revisions. There's track changes. There's everything.
And plus, you have your email saying, "Would you like us to write this for you?" And you have to erase all that and do all that stuff.
I think I managed to turn that off because I got so just offended and absolutely hurt in the soul that it kept offering to answer my wife. Like, how dystopian is that? That like, yes, we don't think you can write "pasta sounds good for dinner, I love you" to your wife. Let's take that burden off of you. So gross.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So, all right. So that is where we're at today. We're talking about our favorite Obi-Wan quotes and moments. And I still go so much to what Sir Alec Guinness, let's get that right, brought to the role. We highlight that a lot of just his performance, his choices, particularly in A New Hope, just left so much room for other bits of storytelling, which the franchise has definitely, I think, mined quite successfully, not just with the live action series on Disney Plus, but Clone Wars and other projects as well. Including books, legends or otherwise there. So, I go there a lot. Do you have any, are you ready? I want to make sure.
I'm multitasking.
Okay.
So
all right, I'll keep going.
But I'm here. No. I can do both. I can talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi and write an email at the same time. I'm going to prove it. Right here, right now.
Do it. Do you have a go-to quote? Hello, there could be the answer, but do you have your number one Obi-Wan Kenobi quote on hand in your brain all the time?
Number one, no, that number one is way, way, way too hard. But you know what? If I have to pick a number one, I maybe you're going to find that many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view. Because in some ways, I think that is the most Obi-Wan quote. He gets banged up for it. People criticize him for it. But I think there is great wisdom in it. I don't think it's just a shifty, I'm trying to get out of trouble. I think he's trying to impart something very, very true. Your father fell to the dark side because he was certain that this point of view was valid. He had talked himself into it. So I think that's an absolutely fabulous one. I did also recently rewatch the Kenobi series. So I wanted to shout out a quote from that. It's in the episode 5 when he is training with Anakin, and Anakin is being very aggressive. It's not like a super clever quote. I just really like the power of it, of Obi-Wan reminding Anakin that a Jedi's goal is to defend life, not take it. I think that's just so important in understanding everything that Obi-Wan is going through. I think it's so important in understanding what we talk about a lot with the Jedi, of like, well, they're peaceful monks who'd rather meditate and go, help people, maybe, farmers are having a drought. Maybe they'd like to go levitate some water for them. That's what they'd like to be doing with their days, not chopping people apart. But their philosophy is, in order to defend life, we will use violence. And it's such a great way to say, hey, the whole point isn't to fight. It's to avoid fighting, and only fight if it is in defense of life. So I think that one's a banger as well.
Yeah. I never want to be too cute that I undercut any poignant thing said or important thing said, but I do think one of my favorite Obi-Wan moments, quotes, is looking at Han Solo when he mentions the Millennium Falcon and saying, should I have? It's just one of the sassiest Kenobi lines around.
It is where I just think like so much sass and snark comes from it. It's so great. I mean, some of them are like, they're great Obi-Wan Kenobi lines, but they're also just like, they're iconic Star Wars lines, and some of them are because they're fantastic lines from A New Hope. I think, a wretched hive of scum and villainy is just like a great over the top line. Like that's a great Obi-Wan Kenobi line, but like, that's no moon. Is that an amazing Obi-Wan Kenobi quote, or is that just something we've fallen in love with and used in our everyday life because it's Star Wars,
Yeah, indeed. And we got some great quotes coming in already. And then I'll put, and as we always say, if you call in, and we got some calls lined up here, of course, how do you call in? Become a Patreon supporter, patreon.com/ForceCenter, and the link will go up every week. That's a unique link to call into the show. But feel free to talk about anything, even if we already mentioned it. But I always have to look it up because I am bad with quotes. But I do love, because someone in chat brought up the Twin Sons episode, and him saying to Maul, if you define yourself by your power to take life, the desire to dominate, to possess, then you have nothing. I absolutely think that's not only just one of my favorite Kenobi quotes, but one of those like, yeah, maybe we all should apply that to life a little bit more in our politics and policies and how we engage in relationships. So yeah, big one for me.
Yeah. I'll also throw out a Clone Wars one just in case people don't bring it up. It's when it's before Maul has done the awful thing that he does in the Clone Wars. I don't know why I'm trying to avoid spoilers. Everybody knows, but when Maul is expecting Kenobi to break, and Kenobi says, "You can kill me, but you'll never destroy me. It takes strength to resist the dark side. Only the weak embrace it." So many of the various Jedi's wisdom about the dark side is a sort of cautionary tale of like, don't start down it. It's so seductive. It's so powerful. Like, it's so great to just be like, you think you're such a badass because you kill people. I'm like, I'd like to kill people. It's harder not to,
Yes.
You're not doing the brave thing, like it's like the stranger in Acolyte, like, I've dealt with my dark side. Have you?
Right.
I've dealt with my addiction to action figures by buying thousands of them. Have you dealt with your addiction? It's just like,
right.
No, it takes strength to say no to an action figure.
It does. It does. It also takes it helps when your credit cards are maxed out. But I do think the quote that people could take out of context is, "Did you hear Force the other day? Joseph said, I'd like to kill people." I think that could be cool. I've had to give up, and I have to pretty much wear the readers all the time now. But I noticed they're really crooked, so it looks like I have I'm like a befuddled character in a British comedy with like glasses all like akimbo here. I think it's just hitting something on the thing. Sorry, distracting. All right, we got some comments here. Do you want to take some calls? We got some calls lined up.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got Steve, we got Maddie, we got Maddie, we got Addie. Maddie and Addie sounds like a sitcom from NBC about 2002, and I can't wait to hear of it. And we got Obi-Wan Jacoby. So we're gonna take Steve here as always. I'll just put the terms of service out there. We'd love to see your face on this show if you call in. If you're on YouTube on the audio side, you get to hear all of our voices. If you're not in a position to have your camera on for whatever reason, just turn it off in the queue, and I can bring you up as an audio only call. But let's go to Steve first. We love Steve's calls, and Steve. Ink showing. Talk to us. What's your favorite Kenobi moments? And like I said, you don't have to. But if you have thoughts on the Imperial dignitaries as well, please share them.
Yeah, I was kind of the same as you. I forgot they existed. I think it's until I started watching or listening to a lot of these types of podcasts that I knew these guys even turned up. It's kind of like your databank rules. Sometimes the characters you pick. Sometimes I'm working a little bit on a Sunday, and my work laptop is just my Google history is just the Star Wars characters that you put on databank roll, because I have to remind myself who these people are. Because it's some like background alien, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know that guy. As soon as you see their face, you know it. Yeah. But, all I can say is I wish I had the confidence to pull off their outfits. I don't know if I could, especially that guy on the left. That is some hat.
That is. I think I think that's hazing of some kind. I think this is like the dignitaries are in a fraternity, and when you first join, you have to wear the dumbest hat for a while.
Maybe the Emperor, he lost a bet, and the Emperor punished him, and he has to wear that hat for the rest of the week.
Yes.
For the audio listeners, we're sharing the classic group photo that seems to be half in character and half a bunch of actors going, yeah. Let's just take a shot here. A classic shot of the dignitaries, which also looks like Jeffrey Rush and Ed Asner are part of the.
They look like an English band from like the 70s or the 80s, you know.
That's still going.
That looks like an album cover for sure.
Yeah, it's like Tears for Bunnymen. It's a combined old British band.
Yes, Vengeance at Stonehenge. Yeah.
Thank you for indulging me on that, Steve. But Obi-Wan Kenobi, where do you go?
So I know there'll be some obvious quotes, moments, and from the OT or the sequel, the trilogies. I'm going to go with a quote. I don't know if it counts as a quote, but I just really love. I see it on TikTok all the time now. But just the holocron message that he gives, and I think it speaks to a lot of people in this world at the moment with everything that's going on, and just to always have hope. So I love that moment, especially when they play it with that kind of Clone Wars. There's that background music, which I think is great. I love. And then just in general with like moments and everything, I love because he spends a lot of time with Anakin being the Jedi Master, trying to put Anakin on the right path. But I love the moments where he's on his own and he goes off does his own little adventures, like Attack of the Clones. I just love that he has his own kind of detective movie a little bit, where when he meets Dexter and he has to find clues and find out where he's going, which I love. So I just kind of love those Obi-Wan moments mostly, rather than being the mentor. He's like, you learn more about him as a character, I think, in those moments.
Absolutely, yeah. You did with insight into his relationship with Dex, and I love that he's just like, I'm doing my job. I don't care about fancy flying. I love the this is why I hate flying. So good.
I agree with that. Neil Hanstock does that. Imperial dignitaries or Backstreet Boys, come back to it. One and the same. Love that there. Great stuff there. The Kenobi's, he's so well traveled. He's a man of the galaxy. He's a man of the peoples. Always out there doing his own thing. I love those kind of things as well.
Yeah, I remember there was one Clone Wars episode. Do you remember? I can't remember if it was all together, but there was that arc where he faked his own death, and then he went undercover.
The
with
Rune
bounty
Haku
hunters.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Big
and I
one for
loved that
Anakin.
because that was just that was the side of Obi-Wan I never thought, he was quite badass in those episodes. But just another side to him. He's rather than just being the very good, I can't, what's the word for it, but always followed by the rules kind of Jedi. Kind of has these moments where he just does great things.
Mm-hmm.
No, good answers. Good answers to start us off there. That Rune Haku episode, and it's like Obi-Wan is a Mission Impossible Jedi going around undercover, all this stuff there as well. Love that. Steve, thanks for getting us started off here. We got a lot of calls to get to, so I'll get to those, but I appreciate you leading off with some great hits there. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
As always. Good stuff there. 730 Evie says, "Are you okay? I will be. Love the 1-2 of Obi-Wan." Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a very nice moment of his sadness and resilience.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's Reiko Hardin. I kept saying Rune Haku, which is
Nemodian. Yeah.
Nemodian. Yeah. Sorry. Trivia is long behind me. I don't need to
Hardin.
I don't need to competitively compete for trivia anymore.
No.
But thank you, Obi-Wan Jacoby, for picking me up. We also got some great. We'll get a call here from Maddie. 730 EV also saying you're right on time. Anakin when he was late in Clone Wars. Yeah, I definitely think the Clone Wars, one of the great things they've done with the Kenobi character and James Arnold Taylor's portrayal is really leaning into that sassy Kenobi. The sass is strong in the Clone Wars.
Yeah. No, I wish I retained more of those. I ran out of time today to look up some of his. Somebody else talked about his great back and forth with Ventress, and there's some great stuff, and there's some sass about Maul's legs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Gaz Donahan also can we acknowledge the beautiful exchanges with Ventress, such a good duo. Yeah. And Ventress and Quinlan, we know, but there was some heat. There was some heat with Ventress and Kenobi. I think there was. I think there was.
No, there definitely there's just to be some flirting of like, Obi-Wan, go if you're gonna. All right, all right, let's do this. Let's flirt.
Feel the heat. All right, audio call coming in from our own personal Maul. He is Matty Gunner calling in, checking in. How you doing, my friend? And let's talk Kenobi.
Good, gents. How you both? You all right?
We're good, man. We're good. We're getting through it.
I sent my email.
You're good.
Email away.
I can't wait for the eventual London premiere, Joseph.
Yeah, me too. Hopefully figuring that out soon. Yes.
Oh, there's actually going to be one. I'm not just.
Well, I mean, in some form or fashion, eventually. Yeah. I mean,
hell yeah.
I love London, and we'll make it happen somehow.
Why don't you host it, Maddie? Why don't we have the premiere of Dead Media in London at your house, in your flat, as you might call it, huh?
Yeah, done.
Okay.
All right.
There you go. Yeah.
Just have some upper crust sandwiches and some whiskey, and it'll be great.
Oh, man. You know what? We got to talk about upper crust again. I thought about upper crust sandwich again because the other day I had a little bit of I have a little bit of spend. I was like, I got like $10 or something to get me a sandwich tonight. And I drove around to all the normal locations. Number one, they're too expensive some spots. But I was like, yeah, I think now I don't want Subway, Jersey Mike's, and any of the ones. I want upper crust. You both ruined me with your love of upper crust.
I saw that Nando's has a pop-up, and I promise we will get to Obi-Wan. I saw Nando's now has a pop-up in New York City.
Really?
And I'm just like, this is like it has to be time for upper crusting.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just talking about more Democratic Socialist wins for New York. We got to get sandwich spots here. It's great.
As America tries to get better at having more mass transit, what they need is upper crust in the stations. Because I associate upper crust with getting to be on a train going back and forth from London to Edinburgh or Nottingham and eating 2 delicious sandwiches while the beautiful scenery passes me by.
I promise we will get to Star Wars again too, but you know how America steals all of your sitcoms and shows, Maddie, and we just rebrand them?
Yeah.
Can we just call something like Top Crust over here? Can we just call it that, but make it the same? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll ruin it. We'll ruin it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Maddie. Obi-Wan Kenobi moments. What you got?
Can we go with the Imperial delegates?
The Imperial dignitaries? Absolutely.
Can you pull up that picture real quick?
What do you got to say about these guys?
The guy on the left,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, he just reminds me of Joe Pesci in Home Alone.
A little bit.
Bandits, but like
Little
with
bit.
an elongated hat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He looks like some kind of Dr. Seuss character run amok. Yeah, a little bit. The Grouch of Blue Hill or something.
And the two in the middle are like Statler and Waldorf. Like I could just picture them.
Oh yes, yes.
A little bit indeed. What's your relationship to these Imperial dignitaries?
I don't really have one to speak on. But it kind of goes into my favorite Obi-Wan Kenobi quote of who's more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows him?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
These fools are following the biggest fool, Palpatine.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
And their hats are following them. It's terrible. Fool on fool.
Fool on the hill wearing a hat. So, Maddie.
Yes.
We always mention it, but you are our number one Maul fan here, okay? You're Maul's number one guy.
Sure.
But you got Obi-Wan Kenobi, who is the bane of Maul's existence in many ways. How do you divide your heart and your love?
There's lessons to be learned from every, what's the phrase? There's heroes on both sides. There's lessons to be learned from every character, I feel. Even the smaller glup shitters, as we like to call them. Obi-Wan is very much the older brother figure to Anakin. He's not exactly father figure material as Qui-Gon Jinn would have obviously have been, but he does still try to instill wisdom in Anakin and again in Ahsoka.
Right.
So I feel like he's the closest thing to human out of the whole of the Jedi Council, I believe. Like they're all, for the most part, very strict by the Jedi Code. They try their best to live by it. Whereas Obi-Wan is very open about his weaknesses and his flaws. He's not afraid to confront them. He's not afraid to, like his love for Satine. He said, I would have left the Jedi Order if you'd have just asked me.
Right.
He understands Anakin's love for Padme, even though he says she's a politician, they are not to be trusted. Like, he understands, and he obviously knows what's going on, but he's not going to give Anakin a hard time because he knows I've been in your position. Just watch with your attachment. Don't get too attached to her to the point where it leads you to where you eventually go. So there's obviously lessons to be learned. Like I think him and Maul play off of each other really well, to the point I was listening to an interview with Sam Witwer where he talked about Maul's death scene in the Twin Sons episode, where he was kind of relieved that it was Obi-Wan that ended his existence, that he was like, oh, okay, you are the one that's protecting him. I can let go now. My purpose is served. Obviously I didn't accomplish everything I wanted to, but I can rest knowing that you are the one on watch.
Fascinating. Good stuff.
Yeah. And I think, especially toward the end of his life, like I look forward to getting to fill in even more dots of Maul's story. But, having had him sort of pivot at the end there, like obviously his big goal is to still bring down the Sith, but to pivot back to like, oh yeah, I remember how much I hated that Kenobi guy. I'm going to fight him too. It's almost like his hate for Kenobi was like, Kenobi's the closest thing he had to a friend. Not even like a friend, but just like a connection in the world, right?
Yeah. No, I think absolutely, and I think under different circumstances, these might have been the best of buddies. Yeah, and I like what you say, Maddie. Like I've always kind of viewed, in many ways, Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of a poster child for what a good Jedi is. But in saying that, I think you're acknowledging a truth of him, which is like, that doesn't mean he's perfect. That means he's like, yeah, I hold up these ideals as best I can. I have this belief. I'm here in the Order. I love democracy, but there's very human, or in this case, just kind of real ways to approach that, and he's always been that. And I think Maul would have found a friend in him at some point under different circumstances.
It's almost like you're the last person, literally the last person in the world that I would turn to, but I have no other choice.
Yeah, it's like you and PLD having a Star Wars show. That's exactly how it works.
I mean, there's far, far worse people that I would turn to do a Star Wars show with.
Lovely. Great stuff, Maddie. Appreciate that. And and I appreciate you let me wrap poetic of upper crust sandwiches.
Always. I'll grab one tomorrow just for you.
Thank you.
Take pictures.
I will do. I'll send them to you both. Thanks, Jackson.
All right. Matty Gunner checking in from the UK. All right. Yeah. Yeah, the Kenobi Maul pairing. Especially the more you learn, especially that we're in this time, like you said, we're getting more, getting to see more of the steps towards where we go. I love that, there's also other people and things and entities that Maul's upset with. And that it's not always Kenobi, but that it's a through line in a lot of ways. Maybe at the end, that's all he has left is to turn back his anger to Kenobi.
Yeah. I love how much Kenobi does. He manages to take it in stride that he's just going through life trying to be a good Jedi, follow his beliefs, follow the rules for the most part, bend them when necessary. And there's something relatable. Like, I'm just trying to go about my life. And in my life, I've collected, multiple people who hate me the most in the entire galaxy.
Yeah.
He's got Maul, he's got Grievous, he's got Vader, and when he's sitting in his cave, just being like, man, just trying to live life. All these guys hate me.
Just trying to do the thing. Love it. All right, we've got Dr. Addy, we got Obi-Wan Jacoby, we got Detective McCarsell.
Yeah.
One's a real doctor, the other's not a real detective. Find out while we have our names go here. All right. Getting camera ready here for Dr. Addy checking in. Addy, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right this evening, boys. How are you?
Good.
This evening, I'm thinking about lunch. Oh, man. Okay. Time zones. Funny.
It's 5:30 in the Lord's time zone, Ken.
Oh, the Lord's time zone. Okay. Okay. I can't argue with the Lord on that there. What do you got? Imperial dignitaries? What is actually, I do want to know. What is your relationship with the Imperial dignitaries?
Okay. Can we put up the picture?
There it
is. The guy on the left is Brian Cox, and he did not convince me otherwise.
Brian Cox definitely has that. He always seems to have been born 55. He
really does. He really does. But
he's looking at his disappointing son. Yeah.
To be completely honest, the only one I knew of that, like, when you put up that picture, I was like, oh yeah, that guy is the guy all the way on the right.
Which guy? Oh, the skeletal kind of.
Yeah, because I think he's the one who's like in close up bowing to the Emperor when he like gets to the Death Star in Return of the Jedi.
I think you're right.
So he was the only one, and until today, I did not know what they were called. So thank you for teaching me something.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Gaz
nodded. Yeah, go ahead, Joseph.
No, please.
Gaz nodded him, said, "I have a 1984 last 17 Kenner Imperial dignitary figure with minimal nose rub, weird figure." Yeah, it's one of the all-time great Star Wars figures that I think we even on Jedi Alliance back in the days. It was one of our first figure fights that we did with that guy.
Yeah, because I think that is a generational thing of the reason that some of us know, like, oh, Imperial dignitaries, because it was one of the action figures of like, oh, the creepy weird dudes that Palpatine has a mysterious private conversation with. That was like some of the great tip of the iceberg storytelling. Like, I was too young to kind of get like, oh, maybe they're kind of cultists. Maybe we're almost seeing the dark side as sort of a little religion, and they're his weird high priest council or whatever. Like, I think vibes that like an adult would have picked up of like, oh, I get signifiers from what they're wearing and that they're having a little council. I was just like talking to other old weird guys.
Exactly. I always just assumed he was like his chief of staff or something. Like,
his menu planner, his dietitian. Yeah.
And, I would love to know. I don't have it in front of me. I'll go look at those Star Wars Archives books at some point, but I'd love to have more words from George himself on what they represent to him, because it very well could be Nixon and his minions, Reagan and his minions at the time that came out. Yeah, it could very well be something like that.
It's the Directors Guild.
It's the Directors Guild and the Writers Guild. They're right there.
Kicking them out of things, yeah.
Getting in the way.
Simalu. I forgot the name, but I looked it up. The super skeletal guy, Simalu.
Simalu, that's right. That's right indeed.
Wasn't he in Shi Ching and the 10 Rings or something?
Probably.
Might have been. All right, thank you on that. But Obi-Wan Kenobi, where you go?
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, there's so much to choose from. We've gotten so much great Obi-Wan storytelling. Like, I always have to shout out the Obi-Wan series. It is probably one of my favorite new Disney age things that has been created, because it just it gave me everything I wanted, which was really just more Ewan McGregor in my life.
Not wrong there.
But I always I had to pick the scene that I will rewind and watch over and over and over and over and over again when I'm watching this movie. And that is Revenge of the Sith. And it's literally just the moment. Anakin is the father, isn't he? I'm so sorry.
It's a great moment.
And there's so much in that line, especially like post Clone Wars season 7, where you find out like just how much he knew about what was going on. Say hi to Padme for me.
Right.
But like there's something about the way Ewan McGregor delivers that line of just like the regret that is in it, of just like he's the like, I know your first of all, I know your secret, the secret that you are trying to keep from everyone.
Right.
I have figured it out, and I've also figured out that he's the father, and I'm sorry I have to go kill him.
Right.
Like there's so many layers in it, and Ewan McGregor does it so well. I literally like I will sit here and it's just like it's the 10-second rewind on the remote of just like, I'm gonna watch that again. I'm gonna watch that again. I'm gonna watch that again.
Yeah. I don't know about your cultural background, but for me, being from the Midwest, there can be lots of conversations about when you apologize for something. When you say I'm sorry, is it a personal statement about somehow you are claiming responsibility, versus are you saying I have great empathy and sympathy and sorrow for the entire situation? And he has like, it's everything. Like it is really, really well delivered with just layers and layers.
Agreed. If I am asking Maddie as a Maul fan what his relationship is to Kenobi, you as a Padme fan, Addie, and that being one of your favorite characters, how do you view Obi-Wan in that moment, or just overall between, through her eyes?
I mean, through Padme's eyes, I feel like Obi-Wan was always the like Anakin's big brother, and a little bit like Anakin's conscience, maybe even, of like he helped Anakin make sure that Anakin made the right decisions. And so I every once in a while I'll see on Instagram like artists depicting like what could have been if Anakin never became evil, and you've got like Uncle Obi-Wan coming over for dinner. Right. And just like I think that Padme has a lot of respect for Obi-Wan and like the job he does, and I wish that we had a world where Obi-Wan had been more open with Anakin, and therefore by extension Padme, about like the things he went through, and he's been here too, and sort of what that means. But no, I love Obi-Wan. I love Obi-Wan as a Padme fan. Like, I think only good things. What I love about the Obi-Wan show is how much he's looking out for their kids. Right. And all of the time he spends with little Leia. That last scene with little Leia, where he tells her that, she's wise and discerning, and she gets that from her mother, but she's also, a go-getter.
Strong and forthright.
From her dad. And like, there's just, he's great.
Yeah. No, good. Great. Yeah. I would agree, but want to get your thoughts on it.
I understand why it didn't make sense in the script to use Padme's name very explicitly, because it is dangerous. They could have found a way, but certainly there's a strong reason why Obi-Wan isn't saying, your mom, Padme, because it's risky for everybody involved. But he speaks of her often. It is, I think that show is the most love that she gets in any Star Wars outside of prequels in the Clone Wars. It mentions her multiple times.
It absolutely is, because I believe that scene earlier, I think it might be in the second episode, where he says something like, "You remind me of someone I knew very well." I know that there's been a lot of discussion of like, is he talking about Padme? Is he talking about Sabine? I choose to believe he's talking about Padme in that moment, because she's just little Padme. Like, she's just little Padme. That's all that's happening.
Yeah. No, to me, that's utterly explicit. Yeah.
No, without a doubt from my end too. Perfect. Love it. No, thank you. Asked and answered. I appreciate that take on it. And yeah, Uncle Obi-Wan.
Of course. Uncle Obi-Wan. What
Obi-Wan.
could have been?
Yeah.
What could have been?
Yeah. I love that.
So beautiful, so sad. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna rewatch that Kenobi series too soon.
Those Instagram posts just always make me sad. Like I'm
Yeah.
just like, stop. That's what I wanted.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Addy, for calling in, and go Tampa Rays.
We won 13-2 last night. It was glorious.
False hope. I get it.
So much fun.
Right.
So we're gonna crash and burn. It's only a matter of time.
Love it. Indeed. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, boys.
All right.
Thank you.
Some very generous super chats coming in. We want to get to right here. We got, I love this. Sarngat said, with my deteriorating eyesight, those Imperial dignitaries look like a Rolling Stones album cover for the end of the Brian Jones era. That is a very wonderful, specific rock and roll reference. It truly does. I don't think I can unsee that. It totally looks down, with the B-side, 19th Nervous Breakdown. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it really does. Sticky hats.
Sticky hats. And quite frankly, they all do kind of remind me of the great late Charlie Watts.
Yeah,
they
I'm
do.
going to Photoshop Charlie Watts into that one of these days.
Season. And very, very generous super chat from Archangel.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much for that. Really helps us here on the show. He says, money for the moment. Kenobi ignites the blue against Maul and Twin Suns. We fixate on the forms he strikes, but watch how the first action says, you're already dead. You just don't know it. And the balance of resolve and regret in his face. Yeah, the balance of resolve and regret in his face is a great way to kind of summarize that there. And that's a great, we, number one, appreciate that super chat, but two, I agree with that. And yeah, the form, and he's Qui-Gon's form and this and that. And that's a lot of the, where I go to that moment of stasis versus change, and it's a lot there. But just Obi-Wan as a character. Obi-Wan is this old man in the desert, this rat in the desert who knows what he has to do in that moment. It's one of the reasons we're drawn to that a lot.
It's a fantastic moment. I think it is about the Jedi school is defend life, not take it. And I have to defend Luke's life, and unfortunately, that might mean taking yours, and I don't want to. Really don't want to, but it is also like the knowledge and defense. That's what the Force is for. I'm using it for defense, and maybe I'll argue that it's a line because it's kind of an answer. Because I was like, you're protecting something, someone, and the lightsaber is like, yeah,
you got it.
I am.
You got me,
and I'm gonna protect him from you.
Yeah, love that. So thank you for that. Also, going to the Imperial dignitaries. This is great from Gaz Nottingham saying, genuine question. Were the dignitaries political allies, or could they be connected to the cultists on Exegol? This is great because I wouldn't say there's a clear canon answer. If anyone has one, let us know. I don't recall it. This is something, Joseph, that might have changed over time, but it could go either direction or both.
I'm sure he asked them like, hey, how do you think I should quash this bill?
Yes.
I'm sure it seems like they are advisors, but I feel like some of the stuff in the books with is it Yup Tashu, I think, who's pretty clearly
the guy in Rebels, Malcolm McDowell's character. Yeah.
Yes. So who are all in on the, especially the Malcolm McDowell guy whose character name I'm forgetting. Right. Definitely all in on the, hey, yeah, he's an evil wizard. He's not just, an old man who's deformed. He's an evil. So to me, there's an entirely occult vibe that like Exegol is the greatest explanation of those guys.
Yeah, and in The Last Jedi, when you got, I know they're like an alien race from the unknown territories that are there with Snoke and helping him kind of guide everyone through the unknown regions. Not the same thing, but the same vibe too. And that just kind of, I like that too when you think about these. That these are all of the above. Yeah, political allies. You want to do a weird cult prayer with us? We got your back. You need thoughts on what to do about these pesky Jedi? We got you too. I think it's all there.
They're like his groupies. They're like his entourage. He's famous for being the greatest Sith ever, and he's got an entourage. Like they come and make sure he gets his favorite table at his favorite steak restaurant. Like
I don't. I know we don't like to make real world connections, but imagine Palpatine sitting at a big oak table signing like executive orders of the galaxy, and there's just a group of people behind him going, yes. Kind of strikes that picture for me. Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you think they were lurking about anywhere when Vader and Luke came up to the throne room? Were they like in the back room and with all his trophies, like listening at the door to see how it goes?
They were in that little storage thing they were making sure the blade and everything's there. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think that is vaguely familiar to me in terms of like a playground conversation I probably had in like 1984, where I probably made up some answer. Oh, they were down and running. They were flying TIE fighters, just like something I probably made.
Yeah.
Genie Fratini says, I had the impression that the quote dignitaries were Palpatine's little dark side groupies. Yes, I agree with that.
Haja says those dignitaries in purple just look like a bunch of Prince fans. Hashtag Purple Rain, REIGN, rain.
Doxon says most humans are 60% water. Obi-Wan is 60% sass, and Anakin is 60% drama. I agree with that. And Sarngad comes back. One more super chat to say thank you for being the only ones to consistently get my references. Hey, if you've got old man rock and roll references to make, this is your spot. This is your spot.
You got some love a little while back here in the chat, Ken, for a very nice and very surprising Batman reference. I think I know the reasons that you might be seeing some Batman, but that's fun.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, because is he saying that to? He's saying that to Porkins, right? Isn't that the moment he's saying it to William Hookins, right? Isn't it his character? Eckard, right? Is he saying it to Eckard?
No. The boss Grissom says it to Jack Napier.
Jack Napier,
says it once he's Joker.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Sorry. See, I haven't seen it soon enough. I need to go now. That's my assignment this weekend. Though I will be down at Anaheim Expo tomorrow. If anyone's down there, I'm not doing anything specific, but come by, find me, say hi, stalk me politely. I'll be there.
That's the hit song by the dignitaries. Stalk me politely.
Stalk me politely. There we go. We got a call from Obi-Wan Jacoby here. Looks like we're going audio for Obi-Wan Jacoby here. Obi-Wan, are you there?
Hello there. How are you?
We're good. Hello there indeed.
Yeah, it was Bob the Goon that Joker said that line to.
Yes.
Thank you, Bob the Goon. Rest in peace. All right, where do you go? What do you need?
Well, starting with the Imperial dignitaries,
please
just bring up the picture again. I put this in the chat, but no one expects the Imperial Inquisition.
I can see some Michael Palin in there as well. Yeah, it all works. It all works for me.
But if I actually were to say something more serious about them, it's that what I really like about them is the sort of tip of the iceberg storytelling, as y'all were getting to, as far as like, what are they? Are they Sith cultists? And there's been some expansion on them both in canon and legends. I know one of them, Sate Pistage, I think is his name. There's a big character in the Plagueis novel who does a lot of the stuff for them.
And Vinay as well, right? Does Vinay count as a dignitary?
Well, there are two Vinays. If you want to put the picture back up.
Yes.
The dude who has his own, the one who's thinks he's tall and needs to squat down in front, one is down the bottom there. He's a Vinay, which I only know because I see his action figure.
Right.
I can't remember his full name. It's something like Christie something Vinay. So I don't know the connection to the Vinay that we spend time with in modern canon.
We'll have to find that out. Indeed. Obi-Wan Jacoby, you have a name that makes me think you like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Where do you go?
Yes, I've had this nickname for my whole entire life, basically. It's what my grandfather started calling me, and it's just stuck since. But yes, I had no idea what line I was even going to go with when I logged into the call, because there's so many to choose from, ranging from the gamut of just silly fun lines to the very like profound. So what I think I'm going to go with is from episode 1, when he and Qui-Gon are trying to convince the Gungans to help out, and he says, you and the Naboo were part of the symbiote circle. Whatever happens to one of you happens to the other one. I used to not think about that theme a whole lot in the movie until I started listening to your podcast, and y'all talking about that theme sort of showing up over and over in the movie, and I'm like, oh wow, that's like it's everywhere.
Yep.
It's a great theme statement just early on in Act 1, basically.
Yeah, no, I love that you brought that one up, and I love that he also is like, well, you must see that. Like, I love how he's the Obi-Wan that we know, but he is a little young and impatient, and a little like Jedi are great. What's everybody else's problem? And I just love that. Like, there's this picture that he was sort of raised to see things with empathy and connection, and then he's going out in the galaxy like, what's the deal? Nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys know this stuff? Come on.
Yeah. No, the moment that's a great line, because I think that's one I definitely didn't connect to over the years. It's not a super flowy, like a quotable line you might want, but it's direct. It's the point. And discussing the themes of that movie, it's absolutely made me reappreciate that moment. And that whole scene, I love watching the Boss Nass stuff. I think I'm more obsessed with Boss Nass nowadays than I was ever in my Star Wars fandom.
Especially after finding out who Brian Blessed was and finding out, he's the guy in that.
Oh, he is Boss Nass. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
He is
just a total wild man. Yeah. So great.
Indeed.
Do you have any other Obi-Wan quotes you want to share?
Well, you brought up that, showing that in the Phantom Menace, he's younger, he's a little more brash, and he's not like all the way to the fully formed Kenobi that we know. And so this is a more funny line that sort of illustrates that later on when he says, tell me you haven't picked up another pathetic life form, he still has a lot to learn too, even though he knows about the symbiote circle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think it's an amazing Kenobi quote, but I can't remember. We were talking on an episode recently about quotes that you kind of think of in everyday life. And I love the moment in Phantom Menace when he's both kind of offended that Qui-Gon wants to get rid of him for Anakin, but he's also like proud. So I love his line where he's like, I am ready for the trials.
I've been telling you for a while.
Come on, guys, I'm ready.
Yeah. Indeed. The sass of Obi-Wan that we keep mentioning is really high there. And, it's like all of us, we sometimes can give advice that we don't necessarily take ourselves or take to heart ourselves. And so, Obi-Wan has a lot to learn and deliver. It's very cutting because it's like, it's a shot on Jar Jar that's like, hey, man, who are you? Come on down. As David Mackay says, Misa like this. Love that there. Anything more, Obi-Wan Jacoby?
There's a lot more, but I'm probably going to leave it there.
Okay.
I could talk to you all for an hour.
Perfect. No, as your name would suggest. Thank you so much for those. That's great stuff.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
All right. Almost out of here today. We got one more call lined up. If you want to call in and there's still time, patreon.com/ForceCenter gets you in. There's a link we post usually every Thursday when I remember, but sometimes Friday morning about the show. And you can call in and we'd love to hear from you here on your thoughts on your favorite Obi-Wan quotes, moments, or more, and the Imperial dignitaries. I'm very, very happy, Joseph, with the Imperial dignitary conversation.
Oh, this is fantastic.
I didn't know if people want to, it's to put Claude up or, some other character. It's a little different.
Come on, you're going to go off the rails.
Yeah. Gus Natahan says one of his favorite Kenobi quotes is, you're in the wrong place. You already have everything you need. Rebels, twin sons. That's one of the, we love the Twin Sons episode. We come back to a lot. I come back to a lot. It's on my phone. It's a screensaver on my phone, the Maul stuff. But the Kenobi and Ezra stuff is really powerful and important. And very much about one of the things I love about the conversation about destiny and how it's really just about choices, and it's the choice that leads to the next thing. And just Ezra making this choice, feeling I got to be there, and having Kenobi just be like, you don't. This is not where you're supposed to be. You've confused it. and kind of leading in that kind of philosophical conversation. I think it's a great little angle on that episode that doesn't get discussed as much.
Yeah, I mean, it ties so much to the idea that Rebels is building toward, and that Kanan comes to, of like, we don't have to all, fight the biggest battle. We have to help where we're needed the most. And I think it ties into Kenobi being like, well, I was supposed to be this, great master Jedi who never lost a fight, never lost the war, but I'm in the right place doing what I need to do, and it's important. Watching over this child is important, and what you have to do is important. Ezra, we all contribute. It's a nice message.
Yeah, no, it's like that not pick a lane, but is the find the area you can make the most impact when it comes to even our own world today. So I think that is good as well. All right, we do have room for at least 2 more calls here, but I do want to get this comment. Sorry, I want to get this before I forget. Chris of Braxium, late to the party. My take on Obi-Wan is that he's the greatest saber wielder in Star Wars. The fact that he is both Maul and Vader's number dual-wise puts it up there. Yeah, if you're looking at stats on the back of the baseball card, I think him and Ahsoka got some big wins. That's hard to take that away from them.
I think that's a great point, and I agree with it strongly. And it is an introduction to one of the other lines that I wanted to share, which I think is a really sassy Obi-Wan Kenobi line, is Sith Lords are our speciality. Which people make fun of him then, because then he does, get knocked down and has, a large piece of the room fall deeply into his buttock. Very painful, very shameful. And yeah, it's a not a great smash cut from our speciality. But his record doesn't lie.
No.
And I think Dooku gets in his head, and I think it's the other way around. Kenobi gets in Vader and Maul's head, and takes it to him.
Yeah. Hey, look, in a way, he still gets the win. It's like in Fortnite when you get knocked down and you're eliminated, and your partner has to go on and win the game and get the crown for you. It happens. You still get the crown. You still get it. You go into the next game with the crown. So
from Kenobi's point of view, he respawns on Anakin's shoulder.
He does.
After being killed.
We got Detective McCrossell lined up here, but the Dead Speaks is Dave Mackay with the super chat. The Dead Speak in The Rise of Skywalker. Obi-Wan is the first Jedi to reach out to Rey. These are your final steps, Rey. Rise and take them, which I absolutely love. And the connection, The Force Awakens and everything there. Reading that, and I don't want to. I'm not spoiling anything about it, but am reading Star Wars Legacy by Madeline Rue, and there's a lot about obviously Legacy, but Rey and wanting to hear the voices of Jedi in the past and studying Jedi in the past, and I think it's flowing nicely into some of the stuff in Rise of Skywalker. So good stuff there. Yeah, great. All right, Detective McCarcel. He's got shoulders, and he's trying to show them off. Oh, the camera's cut it off there. I was gonna show your shoulders to the world. You earned them. You work out every day.
Tragic.
Yeah, very good. Welcome to the show, Michael. Imperial dignitaries. You said in chat, I saw you said you're gonna struggle to say something nice about it.
They at least got some interesting fashion sense.
Elite fashion sense.
Interesting. I'll give them interesting. There's so much what looks like velvet, and that's a choice for sure.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Is that I can't remember? Is that you, Tashu, to the far right?
I don't know if Youp's in the group.
No,
that's Simalu. Oh, on the far right.
Yeah. Like,
no, which one's Janice Grijatis?
He's the little guy in the middle.
Yeah, the one squatting.
That's the guy right above the guy squatting is Janice Grijatis, that little cranky guy. Yeah. The more I look at it now, I think that the guy on the left who's wearing something different, I think he's like their driver. I think that's part of what they're mad about is they're doing a group shot and like their driver just photobombed them.
Yeah. Relative, someone that jumped in the photo.
Like, come on, man, you're not supposed to be in here.
There you go. Love that. Confidence, as Doc said. Confident indeed. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Michael, you're a fan? Yeah? What do you got?
Oh, big fan. I think this could just become an episode of Star Wars Ranked if Joseph and I were left to our own devices.
Do it.
So I'll put one in the Hall. I think I'll put one in the Hall of Fame so we can move on from it. But it's his entire "You Are My Brother" Anakin speech, like that. I think is just flat out the best Obi-Wan's ever been. And I'm really glad that I'm kind of going last because so many have been taken, so I don't have.
Hold on. You got Ethan's after you, so you can steal one from Ethan still.
That's right. That's right. That is how Star Wars ranked works. Yeah. I'll give one to each main Obi-Wan. So we'll go with one that I've mentioned before from Clone Wars, where Kenobi remarks to Maul that he should have cut him in half the other way. That's such an excellent comedic line. Like it's a little bit meta and very self-aware on his part, and I love it.
Yes.
I'm not the biggest Alec Guinness fan. I'll probably a hot take.
Wow.
His comments about Star Wars outside of Star Wars kind of just all these years they sit wrong with me. And like,
I mean, he got that 2% on the back end. He's good.
Yeah, good for him. He can't be too mad about it, or couldn't be. But well, of course I know him. He's me. That's also some pretty incredible copy. And it's the look on his face that really sells that one. It's great. It's great.
And the way he touches his chest. He's me.
Yeah. It's me. So, but Michael, like I said, don't worry. One day you will get to the age where you'll feel like that. You're like, I did. Yeah, I did. I used to do that.
That was me. I was that guy. Sure enough.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
But for the final one, we'll go back to the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Who'd have guessed that great show had a lot of great lines? But it's not just one specific line, but it's his entire conversation when Leia is asking him what the Force feels like, and he asks her, if she's ever been afraid of the dark, and what she felt like when she turned on the light, and she says it makes her feel safe, and he says, yeah, it's like that. Like that's. I'm not a religious man by any stretch, but that level of comfort I can only imagine is what kind of comes with that, and it's beautiful. Not a line that I was ever expecting to see in Star Wars either. Like it was incredible.
No, I love it. I I'm the dumb guy at the end of the bar, so sometimes I need him simple, but like to try to explain the Force in that way, and I needed to hear it that way too. It made so much sense to me. I'd say it's one of my favorite moments of his in the show. So good choice.
I love it also because sometimes Obi-Wan is like he can be quick with his wisdom, and I think he's not expecting that question from Leia, like because he thinks about it for a minute, and and it's an introspective, thoughtful question from Leia, like what does it feel like, And a lot of the other times we've heard somebody ask about the Force, it's very like, where does the power come from? How does it work? Why do you use it that way? And it's so intuitive and thoughtful of like, what does it feel like? And I love that he takes a moment to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like Obi-Wan's hosting a podcast that focuses on themes and whys.
If only we could get him on here.
Yeah. Oh, they could. All right. Your list goes on.
Oh, it certainly does. It certainly does.
Give me one more good one.
One more good one.
Pressure's on.
I do love his. I think it was mentioned earlier, but when Han's bragging about haven't you heard of the Millennium Falcon? He's like, should I have? Again, again, my issues with Alec Guinness aside, he establishes this great level of snark for this character in only a few minutes of screen time. Really, like he's not actually in New Hope in the original trilogy all that much, but he builds such a great foundation for that character's snark, and I think James Arnold Taylor and Ewan McGregor took that ball and ran with it. So good on both of them for that.
I said it earlier, so I love it as well. Good example. I just love that this is the first time in my life I've heard someone say, like, despite my issues with Alec Guinness.
I heard about that stuff when I was pretty young. Like it was probably at some point in between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones that I kind of like heard that somewhere. Maybe I overheard some nerd at a comic book shop make a comment. Like I don't remember even where I got that from, but I was like, that really sucks. Like I thought he was cool because I wasn't even 10. Like I was a little kid. I was like, why would he be so mad about being in Star Wars? Isn't that the greatest thing ever?
Isn't that the greatest thing ever? That's all I want to do. And this old British guy is not happy with it.
Because especially back then, I'm like, he's an actor, so he was rich, right? Like, he got paid a lot of money. Like, why is he mad about it? And I'm 33 now, and I'm like, hey, he was an actor, and he got paid a lot of money for that. Why is he so mad about it?
Yeah,
right?
I will say I understand where you're coming from. Though I love Sir Alec Guinness, but like I understand because at one point you do hear that, and it's sometimes used in a weird way, especially in the internet age of like used against Star Wars or this and that. But and it's snarky and it's a tad pretentious in the best British ways. But it was the first time too I did feel what you're talking about. Like it's I always say. Learning that Harrison Ford was two characters I love was like, wait, what? Wait, what are you talking about? Like that, seeing Ian McDiarmid in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and being like, oh, so he was an actor. Oh my God, that's amazing. Like these are things. But yeah, I hear that. It's absolutely. It's like finding out some of your favorite sports stars on a team don't get along. You're like, but you're all playing for the Dolphins. That's what I want. Like, so I'm with you. You're not off base there, Michael.
No, you're not alone. I love his performance, but sometimes the quotes pop up, and it's like, it's a little hard. Yeah. I think it is about the like. There's that interview that goes around that's very charming, where he tells the story about Lucas offering him some points for helping, right. And then once it was a hit, going like, so George, about those points, could we get that written down? Very charming. But later in life, I think there is that like. I thought I was doing a one-off little B movie.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know I was redefining my entire career, and no one will ever talk to me.
Yes.
About my copious list of theater and film credits because they just want to go, help me, Obi-Wan.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that.
Yep. Different time.
Different time indeed. Michael, appreciate it. Thank you for calling in. And yes, there could be a lot more. So,
maybe a part 2.
Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you so much, Detective McCarthy. Doxson says, I got to dress the sports thing. I almost wore my Dolphins hat today. And Doxson says, man, Ken only remembers the Dolphins having stars. Yeah, I remember us winning some games too. It's going to be a long season. A chance to star, though, but just stuck on their bad team. All right, our final call of the day, though. Oh, Doxson also said this, though. Did anyone shout out the Zam window dive before I got here? Not on this episode, but that is one that we have celebrated here before. I know that moment is one of your favorites, too. It's Obi-Wan in action, but also a weird moment.
It's very key. It's very key to him because I think he can get accused of being the uptight one. And he lectures Anakin about, like, we will not, overstep our mandate. And he's like, but we do need to figure out what's going on. So I'm going to bust through this window. He's not like, no, it's not our mandate. Like,
yeah.
So yeah. I think it's a great portrait of his character. Of he is the like. It would be great to just have a calm day. I would love to just hang out with Dex and chat, and I just want to do it. But if I need to smash through a window, I'm gonna. It's so great. Yeah.
Love that. Dari Hancha says, run, Luke, run. Just after he sacrificed himself to Vader. New Hope always gets me. The flashback to my youth and him still being around. Yeah, it's a big moment. It gets overlooked maybe a little bit, but it's giant. All right, our final call of the day. Ethan, but we call him Svetnik 1138. It is Ethan. He's on a green screen today. Are you shooting video today? What's going on?
No, this is soon to be my daughter's room.
Oh,
actually.
Nice.
We are expecting in November.
Oh, so, congratulations.
Look at that.
Yes. So, yep.
Anakin is the father, isn't he?
I mean, my wife does have a bit of a thing for Hayden Christensen.
I'm so sorry.
Who doesn't?
I'm so sorry. Okay, so, well, first off, just all respect to the detective, but his name is Sir Alec Guinness.
That's right.
Put some respect on the man's name. And actually, that is kind of what I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
So, has anybody mentioned his death yet?
We just got Hodge doing the Run Luke Run right after, but no, go to his death.
So I think, I think we talk a lot about things that like the prequels and all these shows and everything have added for context for like everything else. And I think Alec Guinness's performance in A New Hope benefits the most from it. Like outside of Darth Vader himself, I think he's the character that benefits the most from all of the backstory and everything. Even all the way up to the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And what I wanted to talk about specifically about when he dies is he looks over and he sees Luke and Leia, and then he looks back and he smiles. You know, and it's like, you know, before the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and like even before the prequels and everything, you know, he's looking over at Luke, the New Hope and everything. But now with everything else, he's looking at the twins and the Force has brought them together and together they're going to do it. And I just think that it was already a really powerful moment, but now it feels like it means more. And I think you can say that about pretty much every one of his scenes in the original trilogy.
I think so.
You know, there are so many like reels on Instagram and things where, you know, you have the hut, you know, you have the conversation in the hut and, you know, in his, you know, and they, you know, will cut in scenes from the prequels as he's talking about how he was a good friend, the best star pilot in the galaxy and all of that stuff. And like, that's how I watched that movie now and all of it. Is that like that's all running through my head as he's talking about it, and it just makes it that much more meaningful.
Yeah, having seen him watch over both Luke and Leia, it really does make him feel like, yeah. When I was a kid, and getting to know it and understand it, it's like, oh, he sacrificed himself as a distraction, which is, you know, strategically
still
what he's
true.
Doing.
Yeah,
still true. But yes, that added context of like, oh, he can take his next step into a larger world himself with like, I've come to where I need to be on my journey. And it's not a sort of bittersweet, I need to sacrifice myself. It's
it's almost a hopeful, like I'm handing it off now.
Yeah.
I've done my work.
Yeah.
And not only that, he has one of the best kind of, like it's a really kind of a badass line when, you know, he tells Vader, you know, you can't win, Darth. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Yep.
And like, anyway, that's what I got.
No, great stuff.
But go ahead.
Those words are rolling in Vader's head as he's tapping an empty cloak. Like,
oh yeah, that's a great moment too. And he's just like, you could almost cut in the what from later, and you know that's what he's thinking in his head.
Yeah, I agree with Obi-Wan.
Peace and purpose.
Peace and purpose. Doc said coming back, big franchise storytelling is best. Yeah, I think we're blessed as this franchise rolls on and continues to roll on. You have creatives behind a lot of these projects who, you know, aren't just like fans of this stuff. They understand it. They're feeling what we feel. It doesn't mean you always have to be the biggest fan of all of it. People will throw in Gilroy's name, of course. I know, but still, when you're a creative, do you have any sense of intelligence or brains or desire to tell a good story? You're going to go to these moments and like, what? Let's build back to that moment. What does that smile mean now? What do we do? And New Hope, and I think the original trilogy, like Leia has her own place. Leia's the rebellion. George has said that, but also she's one of the part of the chosen one kind of picture here. What do we got? So I think you're so right, Ethan, that there's a lot of room to play with stories going back to Obi-Wan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, sorry.
No, I just agreed. I think it's a great one to end on because it is, yes, his peace and purpose moment.
Peace and purpose. Thank you, Ethan. Congratulations, my friend.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You guys have a great rest of your day.
You too.
We will.
Thank you, man.
Gaz closes us out by saying he accomplished so much, defeated Maul, uncovered the clone army and the droid factory, and Sith plan on Geonosis, survives Dooku, defeats Vader, leaves a message example, hides Luke and Leia. Yeah. That's that. Yeah, when you again stats at the back of the baseball card. There's Obi-Wan's at the center of all of it.
Pretty important. Helps set Leia on her journey. Yeah,
Indeed. Thank you all for having fun with us with the Imperial Dignitaries, sharing your moments about Kenobi. We love doing this. This is our chance to really connect with the community that's made us so strong as a podcast over the years. So a lot of fun. We appreciate you calling in. So we're getting on out of here today, but we want to let you know about some of the stuff we got going on in our own lives. If you're down to San Diego Comic-Con on Thursday, July 23rd, 7 p.m. show, I will be on a, quote, pop culture themed comedy show, which I kind of poke fun at because that's amazing. We'll see what it goes. But it's headlined by Jen Sturger and Mark Ellis, so he might tell a Return of the Jedi joke or two. I'll be there as well, and other comics. Information's on my website, KenApsuk.com. Joseph, you got a little feature film that's hitting the road and hitting the streets.
Yeah. So, our horror film, Dead Media, is embarking on a road show. So there'll be intros and screening of the movie and a Q&A and some other fun bells and whistles. I might give away some strange DVDs because the film is about a haunted DVD. So if you want to check out Dead Media, you can go to antennareleasing.com/films/Dead Media. We're going to be announcing the full roadshow soon, but tickets are starting to go up for some of the places we're going. So please do check that out. It'd be great to see some Force Center friends as I travel around July and August.
Absolutely. And I'll be at the LA premiere as well. So hope to see you all out there. Thank you all for watching, listening. We'll catch you next week right here on Force Center.